What is going on, guys? And today we're going to talk about some misconceptions about basic training. So first off, welcome to my new apartment, and I obviously haven't set up everything, so if there is an echo, I do apologize for that because I don't have a whole bunch of stuff on the walls. I've tried to kind of fix it a little bit, but I'm doing the best I can right now. But in today's video, we're going to talk about some misconceptions I've heard a lot of people talk about going into basic training, what the whole basic training experience is about, what do you get from basic training. We're going to try and cover several different things related to this. So the first one that I want to talk about is actually something that I get a lot. People ask me this question a lot on social media, and that is, when the Army gives you your weapon at basic training, do you actually get to keep that weapon? Like, is it your personal weapon? They issue it to you whenever you leave basic training. Do you get to take it home? Or this kind of relates to the military in general. Whenever you get out of the military, do you get to keep the weapon? The answer is no. It is actually not your weapon. It is still the government's weapon. They're just issuing it out to you. Whenever you actually take it, you're going to sign a receipt. And then upon returning that, you're going to have to give them the receipt. They're going to inspect the whatever you call the serial numbers, and you're just going to turn it back in. And then every time you switch and you go to a different unit in the military, when you're at basic training, you're going to be in a unit at basic training. They're going to issue a weapon. Whenever you go to your next unit, they're going to give you a weapon, and then whenever you leave, you're going to turn it back in. So you're never going to keep the weapon that you have at basic training or in the military in general. It's not actually yours. The next misconception that I want to talk about is something that I was a little bit confused about whenever I joined the military, because I thought whenever I go to basic training and go through this, I'm going to be, better trained on my weapon and everything. And whenever I come back to the civilian side, I can get like my concealed carry without having to go and take the class, which is not the case. Obviously, we're doing a video about misconceptions. So you're not going to get any special civilian privileges or anything if you join the military on the civilian side. So like, you join the military, it doesn't matter if you're going to go Ranger or something on the civilian side. If you're going to get your concealed to carry in whatever state you're in or whatever laws you have to go through in your state, it's still going to be the very same laws. The only real difference is, like in my case, I got a military discount for the concealed carry class. The next misconception about basic training, I'm gonna kind of chalk this one up to movies, because you'll see this a lot in different movies about basic training or about the military. If they have basic training kind of like at the beginning of the movie or whatever, well, what they'll show a lot of times is soldiers at basic training. They have their group of people in their platoon, they have some drill sergeants, and then all of a sudden whenever they graduate basic training, they're just like in battle and they're in the same unit in the real Army with those same people. So no, the people that you're with at basic training, the drill sergeants, your instructors, your soldiers next to you, they're not gonna like follow you on to the next thing. You're gonna go to AIT. If somebody has the same AIT as you, then you're probably gonna be the same AIT as them. But as far as the same unit, it's not very likely. It's possible, of course, but it is not likely. Probably by far the biggest misconception about people going to basic training is it's going to change who you are as a person. I've talked about that a lot on my channel about, the different changes and stuff, but changing who you are as a person, I don't think it's going to change you. What will happen is you're going to graduate basic training and you're going to be a little bit different. You're going to be a little bit more organized. You're going to be a little bit more, soldiery or whatever, and your family is going to be like, oh my gosh, you've changed. And then a couple weeks are gonna go by, and then a lot of that is gonna wear off. You're still gonna be a soldier, but like who you are as a person, people have this misconception that when you leave for basic training, on the other end, you're gonna come out just like totally different. And that was something that I remember people talk about that with me. Matt's such a nice guy, the Army's gonna ruin him, it's gonna make him mean, it's gonna make him whatever. That's not the case. I'm still me. There are certain things that have changed. I'll talk about how it changes your perspectives on a few things, but changing who you are as a person is not the case. People will exaggerate that so much with how much the basic training experience and all that is going to change you. One of the big fears that people have with basic training in general is whenever they go to basic training, they're just gonna get smoked. They're gonna be doing physical stuff. They're gonna be doing push-ups. They're gonna be getting physically tortured all the time, which is not the case. Basic training is split up into 3 different phases: red phase, white phase, and blue phase. In red phase, you're gonna get smoked a lot more than, in white phase and in blue phase, just in general, the shark attack and everything. which isn't that bad, and like it's really not that bad. But some people think that it's just kind of sun up to sun down, you're gonna get smoked. There's gotta be time, obviously, when you're going to be learning things and kind of sitting in a classroom, actually taking down notes. A lot of times the smoke sessions and stuff happen whenever you're moving from point A to point B, and whenever you're getting ready for a formation, people are late for the formation, and then that kind of gets you in trouble. But you know, there's gonna be periods of downtime. It's not gonna be just full on just getting smoked 24/7 all day long like some people think it is. And the next two things are kind of funny. It's something that people just think is the case with people in the military, and that is, number one, you're a really good shot with your weapon, and the number two, you can just beat up anybody, right? So shooting, you know, in the military, in the Army specifically, they're gonna train you to pass the qualification course. You're not gonna be doing those like special maneuvering, walking while shooting and doing that stuff. That's not gonna be the case for the basic Army, right? So after basic training, you're not gonna be like some expert, awesome shooter, you know, mastering your weapon, and it's just gonna be insane. You know, yes, you're gonna be very familiar with your M4 or whatever weapon you're using at basic training once you get out, but you know, at the end of the day, especially if you're not a combat MOS, you're not gonna be like some, you know, born guy out there just like shooting up and like shooting bullseye all the time and shooting like super far out with iron sights. Like, that's not gonna be the case. And then the other thing is, people think that because you're in the military or the Army specifically for this video, you're just like really good at fighting and you can just like beat up whoever, and like they teach you like super, you know, high level combatives and jujitsu and Muay Thai and all these crazy things at basic training. It's not true at all. You know, you're gonna be lucky if you get good combatives training at basic training. That's gonna be a luxury, whatever the heck word I want to say. It's not going to be the case. You know, a lot of people, they'll be like, oh, don't mess with this guy, you know, he's in the Army. I mean, at the end of the day, he doesn't have much more combatives training than somebody who's been doing actual combatives or MMA and stuff for just like 2 months. So those are some of the major misconceptions that people have kind of centered around the whole basic training experience. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button. That would be awesome. If you want to stick around some more videos, subscribe button. That would be even better. I do want to mention, I got a few spots left on this this little Velcro chart thing right here. Not a chart, but Velcro thing. You guys, if you want to send me your unit patch, the PO box is in the description. Just send your unit patch to my PO box, and then I will stick it up there, and that'll be really cool. I'm wanting to fill this up. I got a couple spots left, so you know, send in your patches while you still can. So that is it for this video. Follow me on Instagram and Snapchat if you haven't already. I hope I didn't say that. I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I will see you later.